Your music sounded a tiny bit poppy, very little bit bluesy, very like mellow, very happy feeling. If someone was asking about your music, what would be the best way you could describe it?
I deal with this problem all the time, actually, because people always ask, and I've never got a concise answer. And in the end, I just hand them a CD, let them for a conclusion. I found that's really easy. Um, I don't know because my music does tend to change, like I said, depending on where I'm sitting musically at that time, because I like to grow and to explore as much as possible. The stuff that I have released recently is definitely more of a mellow kind of, yes, it's got a bit of a bluesy kind of influence to it. I think the overriding theme with my music is that it tends to be quite melodic. I like a really strong melody line, and it tends to have always fairly intimate or fairly truthful lyrics. I like to be able to connect with people through what I write, and I'm quite lyrical. And they would be the two main things, I think.
Talking about your single "Shame on Me," which the first song that I really listened to yours, it was quite a nice little surprise. I was flicking through videos on YouTube and that just popped up, and when I was watching it I thought this is actually very, very good. I mean, what was the writing process for that? Was it quite easy or was it quite a difficult one to get through?
No, all my songs come out really fast, and if they don't come out, like, if I'm going to write something and within 10 to 15 minutes it hasn't sort of shown itself, then it's probably going to be relegated to you know oblivion. Really, it's probably not going to happen. And I was actually walking to work that day when I wrote that song. It was because I wrote it quite a while ago, and yeah, it was just the mood that struck me, and I was just wandering along, and it came out. But I sat on it quite a while because I didn't feel that it was just the right time to do anything with it. But what happened was I was playing it a lot in live shows, and it really had a great reception live. It was always one of my favourites, but I just didn't really know if people were ready for it. I felt it was just a little bit different from what was happening at the time, and so I put my time and effort into other songs that I had. And then I arrived in London late last year. And when I got here, I felt it was the right time to record the song. Yeah, so I recorded it early this year.
If you feel something passionate for, that you're going straight for it, and like you said, if you are leaving it for so long you can't get any ideas, and yeah, you don't want to be sitting on something for so long and it never happens. So
It needs to be, for me, it's a moment. Like, it's where I'm at, it's the way I'm feeling. It's a combination of, probably influence of the music that I've been listening to that's been touching me, anything that's been happening in my life, things that are on my mind, or thoughts that are there subconsciously that just come out in a musical form at that time. And if they can't fully come out at that time, then I generally just let it go, because I guess it's just the way I write, yeah.
obviously the music video that you did was shot in Brighton, and
Yeah.
what I got from that was reflected in the song, quite jumpy, very happy, very, very mellow kind of day. It was like, I'm going out for the day, just want to forget all my troubles for a little while. I mean, what was it like going around doing that video?
It's you really nailed it, actually, because that day was exactly that. It's a low key video. I was lined up to do the video with somebody else, and he wasn't able to make it. We couldn't fit our schedules together, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. I've got a bit of that nature. So I rang a friend and just said, how about a day in Brighton? And it just turned out the weather was absolutely beautiful, and we both loved Brighton. And basically I handed her the camera and said, jump on some rides. So she doesn't really like rides, so she had to have a couple of vodkas first. And I love them, right? I absolutely love them. So there was no acting involved. Literally, for me, it was just a day of getting on rides, and there was someone sitting next to me with a camera, and that all I had to worry about was just enjoying myself. We had a fantastic day. It really was. It finished up a typical day in Brighton, sitting on the beach as the sun was going down, and we had some fish and chips, and it was just a good day out. And it was great to be able to capture that on camera and then be able to use that as part of the clip, because it was essentially quite real.
I played your song a little while ago on my show, played Shame on Me, because I thought it was a nice introduction, and it was the first chance for everyone on Krystal Radio to have a listen to it as well, and everyone loved it. Everyone said it was really, really good, and they just couldn't get enough of it, really. Do you feel any pressure on your releases, or do you
No.
just think, I just want my music out there and that's it?
Yeah, I really I look at it as a very personal, I hate to use the cliche word, but journey. It's probably a really naive point of view. But for me, it's about where I'm going musically and who's coming with me, to be perfectly honest. And I think that if my songs connect with a greater audience of people, then, you know, that's just going to be really satisfying for me and satisfying for my audience. And that's all I care about. What everybody else is doing, I like to be entertained by them and inspired by them, but I don't feel like I need to compete with them because we're all just on a different path musically. So I don't really see how you can compete. And I think because as well, I haven't picked a particular genre where I just say this is exactly where I fit and these are my competitors, then I don't focus on that direction. And I think while you're focusing on what everybody else is doing, then you're just really wasting valuable time when you could be focusing on what you're doing and hopefully paving a little bit of a new path and creating something a little bit different for people to listen to.
Kerrie, I'd just like to say a big thank you for your time and thank you for giving me this opportunity to have a nice little chat with you.
No problem. I couldn't think of a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon. It was lovely.
Okay, Kerrie, thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.